Hi, my name's Ashley. I'm a 500-hour certified yoga instructor. I've been teaching since 2017. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am here to do a short practice with you to lengthen, strengthen, and or stretch out your body. You're welcome to interact with this practice however feels best in your body, whatever interests you, and please take breaks and pauses and stop anywhere along the way that things do not feel good to you. We're going to start in a child's pose shape. You're welcome to use a blanket to support your knees at home. Your knees can go a little bit wider, your big toes towards one another, or you're welcome to have the legs together. You can also use a block or book if you want to set your head on. So you're thinking about pressing your hips back. Your head can come down to maybe a block or a book, maybe towards the floor, depending on how you're feeling today. And take a few moments to feel the ground beneath you. Feel the contact points, perhaps where your body meets your mat or the floor. Maybe noticing your own inhales and exhales as you're here. You might deepen that breath if it feels available to you today. Maybe taking a count of 3 or 4. Maybe having the intention here to be present with your body and the movements and to feel your tissues from the inside. And as you feel ready, you might start to lift your head up and maybe have some side-to-side movement or move through your head and neck. Maybe taking that block or book out of the way. Maybe walking towards one side. And perhaps walking towards the other side. Maybe coming towards a shape where your hands are stacked underneath of you. Fingers are kind of spread out, engaging into the floor. The knees are below the hip creases. And the shins are on the earth. Neck's nice and long, thinking about not crunching through the back of the neck. And then you're welcome to start some movement here by letting your belly drop a little bit and your tailbone coming up and your head lifting. And then when you're ready, perhaps tipping your tailbone under, pressing into your hands and pressing your mid-back towards the ceiling. And then continuing, letting the belly drop down, tailbone tip up, head up. And then letting the head come down, tailbone tuck under, and pressing the shoulder blades towards the ceiling. And maybe continuing for 5 more of these. Going between, and perhaps you take an inhale in one direction, and you take an exhale in the opposite direction. Maybe noticing your spine, your hips, your shoulders. Taking one more full round. And then slowly coming back to a tabletop shape. Take your toes, your right toes behind you, let them fold under and let your heel press towards the ground. Maybe coming off and on to that heel, pressing it towards the ground. And then perhaps lifting through that heel as you stack your joints, pressing into both hands, lifting out of the shoulders. Maybe on an exhale, you pull that knee and round like we did in our spinal movement, and then extend that leg back out long. Slowly pull that knee in. There is an option to add your left arm if you want to. I'm going to stay here with both hands on the mat, pulling that left or that right knee in, and then extending it back out. Bringing that knee down, and then starting to allow the right arm to come off the earth and reach up and spin up towards the ceiling. So it looks like this if you're in that direction. And then you're going to slide, letting the palm come up, landing on your right shoulder with your hips still in the air. That might look like this from this direction. And then maybe those left fingertips reach out long or stay right there in front of your face. You can also do this from an upright shape, pulling your arm across the body. Either one is great. Maybe you find your breath. Putting that hand back in front of your face, pressing into that left palm as you bring the right arm up towards the ceiling, setting it back down towards the earth. Taking the left toes back on the mat, letting that heel sink towards the floor. And maybe coming off of that sink and coming back into it, like a pedal or pressing on a gas pedal, any type of pedal. And then coming to where you're stacking your joints once again. And if this starts to feel any grumbly in your wrist, you can always come to your fists instead of being flat palmed. Let the left heel reach up, toes are pointed down, and as you get here feeling nice and strong, pressing out of your hands, maybe perhaps pulling that knee in and rounding the back, extending back out, and rounding back in, and extending back out. One more time, rounding in and extending back out, and slowly letting that knee come back down. When you're ready, bringing that left arm towards the ceiling, and you're going to slowly slide it behind the right wrist with the palm up, letting the left shoulder come to the earth. Right fingertips could reach out long or stay right in front of your face. Hips are up in the air. And again, if that doesn't feel good in your body today, you're welcome to bring that arm across you and stretch more in an upright shape. Either one is a wonderful option. And then that right hand will be in front of your face as you press, and you reach all the way back up. Bringing that left hand down to the earth. Take that belly down towards the mat and the head up and the tailbone up, and then exhale, round. And maybe doing one or two more. Coming so you're kneeling and just stepping one of your feet forward. It doesn't matter. I'm going to do the right foot first, but you can do whichever foot feels right for you. And thinking about scooping the pelvis under and pressing into that front foot, you're welcome to leave your hands on your thigh. Perhaps you want to reach them up in the air. Feeling a stretch through the front of this back leg and feeling strength and work in the front leg. If you'd like to add a little bit of movement, you might take an inhale here and exhale, open and squeeze the shoulder blades. And then inhaling up. And then we'll step that other foot back, so the right foot, and then you might go to the left foot. You're always welcome to switch which foot you start with. And leaning into that front leg. You're squeezing through your outer hips, you're pressing into that front leg, and then you can leave your hands on your thigh or maybe perhaps bringing them up. Having something under your knee can be really useful here. I have pretty grouchy knees and like to have that extra support. And then if you want to add some movement here, you're going to be inhaling here and exhaling, squeezing the shoulder blades back and down. Perhaps inhaling as you come up, and then slowly step and bring that leg underneath of you. And if you want to, you're welcome to come off your knees and come to sit on your mat. Taking a moment to let one of your legs come forward and the other leg to come in. You're welcome to use a block underneath that knee if that feels supportive to you. You can have a baby bend in that knee as you start to fold yourself forward, stretching through the back of that leg. Breathing and moving, maybe as you're here. Perhaps stillness. Taking a moment. Or then you would like, pull that knee in and we're going to switch sides. Letting that micro bend come in the knee if you'd like. Stretching forward. Taking a few more deep breaths. Perhaps moving, kind of feeling into the tissues and the shape. And then lastly, finding your way up, we'll do one more shape. Just want to have a short video here for you to be able to do at home, maybe in the morning or perhaps before bed, to stretch out your body and to perhaps create a different relationship with your body and your tissues and your breathing. So the soles of the feet can come together. You can place blocks or books underneath your knees if you want. And then perhaps folding forward, you can adjust how far your feet are towards your groin or away from your groin. Whatever works best for you and your body today. Always knowing that the options are here for you to make choices. There's also an option for movement here. I particularly like to kind of swing back and forth. Maybe sometimes to come up and swing back in. But you're also welcome to stay in a still shape. Maybe move through your head or neck. There's just options available, and maybe there's something that I haven't mentioned that might feel nice or interesting in your body today. Taking maybe just a few more moments here. And then slowly maybe coming unwound and finding a restful shape. That could be coming to lie on your back or your side. Might be staying upright like I am today. Just take a moment to end the practice and end the stretch with just a little bit of recognizing your breathing and maybe bringing some awareness internal. You could bring your left hand to your heart, your right hand over top. Take a moment to see if you can feel your heartbeat beneath you, beneath your hands. Perhaps letting your inhale and exhale come in and out fluidly, without much effort or pushing or pulling of it. Allowing it to be as it needs in this moment. Feeling your heart pumping blood throughout your body, helping to keep all the oxygenated blood within the body. How beautiful that this organ works without us doing anything. It runs on that autonomic nervous system. And before we end, saying a loving kindness prayer for yourself. You can repeat after me, either out loud or within your mind. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I be safe and free from harm. May I continue to awaken and discover the light that lives within me. One last time. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I be safe and free from harm. May I awaken and discover the light that lives within me. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me today. May you have a blessed rest of your day. Feel free to comment or share about what you thought in the comments below.